everyone, welcome to Rockfish Farm. My name is Jennifer and I garden here in Zone 7B. I am in Danville, Virginia, which is right on the North Carolina border. And today I'm going to be opening some boxes with you for the some goodies for my garden. I am like ready to get my hands dirty in some dirt. So this is going to hold me over, and I am in planning mode. And we just got through with Christmas and the new year is right around the corner, but it is such a beautiful day today. So I wanted to do this outside with y'all today. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out before I get started to Marco and Mateo. Thank you for watching, and we miss y'all and we hope to see y'all soon. So I've got several goodies. So one's from Amazon. If I can't find the exact link to the one I'm going to open for that, I will link something very similar, and I will do that here on the video on YouTube, and then you can also find it on our website at rockfishfarm.com, and it's under shop, and you can shop everything and see everything that I have put in our garden. I had full plans to do all of these videos and everything last year, and I just didn't get around to it. We had a 2-year-old, and she, you know, 2-year-olds, they're a lot. So we just pushed it off another year, and I was incredibly overwhelmed by the garden that we had started. And you can also see the pictures of that on our website too. We've been starting this farm from scratch, literally a 12-acre, pretty much open field. Some of it's wooded, but we have put up horse fencing and barns and riding rings and round pens, and have just been trying to get everything in the perfect location, and we are still not done yet. But last year we did the garden, and it was a huge project, and it was incredibly overwhelming. And so I'm excited for this coming year into 2023 because you know, it's done, and it's just like planting, and then one little section that we're going to be setting up as a no-dig garden. So I'm going to do that here on video with you all this year. But so anyways, I'm excited to get my hands dirty, but we're not quite ready for that yet. So let's open up some boxes here. So the first one that I have, this is from Gardener Supply, and this is something that I have been wanting for a while, because I don't know if you're like me, but I leave tools and all kinds of things out in the garden, little things, seed packets. I leave it out there all the time, and my husband gets so upset that I leave it all out there, but it's a lot to carry it all the way over here to the shed where it needs to go. But we have put in some metal raised beds, and this is like a toolbox that attaches to your raised bed. And it is like a galvanized metal. Let me take it off here and show you. And it has a lid, and I want to say it's watertight. We'll try it out and see. I'll have to double check on the website, but I feel like it's going to be fairly watertight. But it's just big enough for like maybe a couple seed packets, your pruners and things like that. Things that I need right there at my garden beds, maybe a pair of gloves when I'm harvesting. So super excited to have this. So it looks like it comes with the hardware, and it's got 2 little spots here on the back to hang it. I'm hoping, I thought it just clipped over the edge of the raised beds. Our raised beds that we have done are like a galvanized metal as well. So if I can't get it onto that, I'll put it on the fence line, which is right there at the garden beds. And maybe when I'm done with this video, I'll walk you over there and show you where I'm thinking everything's gonna go. But so excited about this, and I think my husband is too. All right, the next thing that I've got 3 of these obelisks, and these are also from Gardener Supply. And I have found a couple really good tomato cages, and they're not from like your box store. If you're gonna find them, they're going to be from like your garden supply stores, and they've worked really well. They are heavier than, they look like a regular tomato cage, not these. I'm talking about the ones I find. I think they were, I want to say they were $20 a piece, and they're super heavy duty. And I thought I found some at like Lowe's last year that were going to be heavy duty enough. They were heavier than like the regular ones, and they were not. I mean, they just do not hold anything up. So I'm excited to have those for the garden. But I'm also excited to have some of these. Oh, let me pull this out here for you because these are so pretty. Okay, so these are the 7-foot square obelisks. I think that's how you say it. And so you can start off there. I'm planning on using these for my tomatoes because I love to do indeterminate tomatoes, which are the taller, more vining ones. And they just get so tall and heavy. But these will be a more permanent structure in the garden. And I think they'll just add really pretty winter interest being in those raised beds. Because as you know, there's just not a lot of stuff out there at the moment for the winter interest. So these stack, and depending on what you're using them for, I wanted to get the 7-foot ones so that I had the option to go as high as I needed, whether I wanted them for beans or tomatoes, whatever I wanted to do. So let me get this in here. They are super sturdy, and I just love the finished look of them on the top. You can't really see because the camera goes up so far, but this is the top piece. And I'll show you what they look like in the garden, but it's got these little round finials at the top. So it just gives it a very finished look, but you can see how tall, obviously these are taller than me, much taller than me, but they are just gonna be such a beautiful statement in the garden. So we've got 3 of these. I'm going to just set the one up probably today. I'll take it down to the garden and I'll show you what it looks like sitting in the garden, but so excited about these. All right, we've got one more box over here, and I have not, I'm gonna try to open it up here. I haven't even pulled this out yet. Let's see, okay. Let me get this opened and then I'll show it to you. Oh, it's so pretty. So this is a copper bird bath for the garden, and I cannot wait. I've been wanting a bird bath and a bird house in the garden, and I think I know exactly where I'm going to be placing this. It's going to be down near a tree and a lilac bush, which is about as tall as a tree, the one that I have. And okay, let me get these pieces out here. Okay, I finally got this thing opened. All right, so we've got a really heavy like copper base here, and then we've got the stand, which is so pretty. I love that detail at the bottom there. So I'm assuming it sits like this, and then here's the bowl, the copper bowl for it. Little like flower detail in there, and this is not quite as heavy as the rest of it. The rest of it is pretty heavy, but the bowl is pretty lightweight. But here's what the top piece of it will look like. Oh, I just cannot wait to see that planted up with like hummingbirds and you know, all the pollinator plants like all around it, set back in the garden, and then this bird bath just peeks out. I love it. So let's go down to the garden and I will take and show this, and we'll talk about where I think this is gonna go. Okay, I've taken everything out to the garden, and I did end up putting together the bird bath, and I missed opening an entire piece to show you all. So I've got it placed on where I think I want to put it, and so I'll show you. Just be warned, the garden is a mess right now. We have not done hardly any cleaning up yet. So we'll definitely have to do that in the next weeks to come. But some of it's nice, you know, winter interest. We'll call it that for this year. So let me turn the camera around and I will show you where this ended up. Okay, so I am down, this is the circle that is down near the chicken coop, and we've still got Christmas lights up, so that's what all these cords are for. So so we're down here in this circle bed here, and so there's the lilac that I mentioned, and it did not look all that great last year because we had moved it. I did have it down in that corner, but I moved it here, and because it didn't get as tall as I had hoped it would, so I'm hoping it just kind of like fills up this corner. And you know, some lilac trees are more like trees, and then some of them are smaller like bushes, and this one's going to be more like a large bush, so that's why I've put it here, so it can just take up this whole space. And then you know, it'll come up above the fence line, so I just think standing on the other side of the fence looking over, you know, seeing this huge bush and with all the beautiful blooms on it would be so pretty. So so that's the lilac I was talking about. And then there is a bunch of pollinator type stuff in here. I've got some, well, let's see, we've got the verbena in here, and that will come back, so we'll cut that back here in just a little bit. But I got the bird bath placed right here, and check it out, this piece that I forgot to show you on the top, this little bird sitting here. So you fill this part up with water, and it's a pretty sturdy piece, so I'm really happy with it. And I think, you know, once all this stuff comes into bloom, it'll really kind of stand out. Here in the corner is an autumn brilliance serviceberry tree, and that turned beautiful in the fall, so pretty. And so that went in last spring. And so we've got the verbena that will kind of be like the background for this area. I'm not sure exactly if I'm going to do anything along the fence line back here yet, because this will get so big. I may put in some annuals or some things that like temporary placeholders that I know I want other places on the farm, and put some things in there. But then we've got some, I think these are the Daisy May daisies, and so these all have the white blooms, and so we've got 3 of those here. And so that will just kind of like this will be sitting. I envision this thing sitting in like a pile of just beautiful blooms. And then we've got some salvia here. I'll have to put on the screen if I can find the tag what type this was. It is a beautiful like fuchsia type salvia, and the pollinators just love it. And then we've got a I think this was like a Mexican feathergrass here, and also over in there, which I think will come back. That one didn't look too good last year, but so we'll have those 2 there. And then over here we've got 2 black-eyed Susans, and then another verbena back there, and a boxwood. I believe that's the green mountain boxwoods, and that's going to get into like a nice tall cone shape there. So other than that, here in this area we've got a coreopsis here with which the chickens like tore up last year, so it did not look good at all. But that thing is going to be hard to get rid of, so that's something, if you want that in your garden, you better be sure that you want it and give it the space that it needs, because it creeps out over the edge. And I think I have a picture of it, but it was so pretty spilling out over the edge here, which is what I love. I want this to be a garden where things are, you know, it's very full and lush, but I also love the organized look. But things spilling out over the edge is just makes me happy. So that is where the bird bath ended up. And of course we got all of our drip tape I've got to straighten back out here, but we've got time for all that. All right, let's go down over here to the vegetable garden, and we will see where the other stuff is. Okay, so we're here in the vegetable garden, and I hope you can see with the sun behind me here, but this is where I plan on putting all 3 of these obelisks. I hope that's how you say it. Anyways, but you can see how tall these things are. So you can take out rungs. So if you're not having something like so tall, but I wanted to be able to have the option just in case I have a tomato, or if I wanted to put a clematis in it one day, I wanted to make sure that I had the pieces to be able to get it, you know, as tall as I needed it to be. So I think they are so beautiful, and they're probably a little taller than what they normally would be, because I don't have them pushed all the way down into the raised bed soil yet, because I'm going to end up taking this out because I haven't done anything with these beds yet, except for the one there on the end. I don't know if you can even see it in the video, but in about a week or 2, I'm going to actually do an experiment and plant that up with some stuff and do a row cover. I've never done anything like that. Of course, there's stuff that's, you know, meant for like early spring. However, we are here at, you know, almost January, so I want to be able to use that row cover and just see. I've got a bunch of old seeds, and so that'll be another experiment too on whether those couple-year-old seeds will sprout even. But we're gonna plant that up and just kind of try it and see. I did amend that one with some of like the horse manure and stuff like that, because these raised beds, whenever I filled them with the soil that I filled them with, I'm telling you, usually I use the Miracle-Gro organic raised bed soil and it does so well. And this year I did, like, I think the Harvest Organics brand, and nothing up here really thrived. Like, it just did okay. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. So I plan on coming in here. Obviously I'm going to leave the soil that's there, but I really want to amend the soil and put lots and lots of good stuff in here so I can have a really good, successful year for this upcoming garden season. But so I've got 3 of these. I'm going to end up taking these down so that I can work in these. But I just thought it looked so pretty, and I do plan on leaving them up for the winter, you know, in years to come, just because I think it'll add a lot of interest over here. And then this is the metal garden box that we opened, and you can see I've got these metal raised beds, and I want to say they were either the 9-foot, I feel like they're the 9-foot ones. These are also linked, these raised beds, on my website at rockfishfarm.com, the exact ones that I used, and there's a couple other sizes too, but they've been really good. But I don't know if you remember and followed me, but taking the plastic that came on these things off, either have a blow dryer or wait for a warm sunny day, because they were wrapped both sides with this blue plastic that was stuck to it, and it was a huge pain to take off. So anyways, so I am either going to put this on the side of the beds here, which I'm not really sure. I need to think about what I'm going to do, because putting it on the side of the bed, I do a lot of vining crops that hang over. So I mean, I guess in that area I could just not do it, but I do want it here in this vegetable garden area, because that's where I will use it the most. So I don't know, I may end up putting like a post up and attaching it to that, or some type of post. I do plan, you can see the hydrangeas behind me, but let me just show you real quick kind of what I plan for this area for this year, because it's going to be super exciting, and there's going to be lots of changes to this area. All right, you can see that there is we've got the hydrangeas that we moved from the house down here. They were just a little bit too large for up at the house, and so I'm hoping they all come back next year, because they are stunning. These are the limelight hydrangeas, but we just moved them here. Again, I thought it would be so pretty to have them towering above that fence line, and this fence line will be stained the black color, or the dark grayish black that we have the rest of our fence stained. But I just think it will be so pretty. You know, the blooms that emerge, that lime green and age white, and then pinks and greens. It's just so pretty. So, and then this whole area here, this is going to be a boxwood hedge. It's going to be about 40 of them is what I counted. And it's going to span the entire vegetable garden to kind of close this off. We've got another trellis there. And then we'll pick back up over on this side and go up to that rose and that hydrangea over there. So I'm super excited about that project. I do have some garlic that's coming up there. I probably need to give that a little bit of water. But I've got several things in here. Still growing, still coming up. Lost the arugula there. That was going for so long, and I've loved picking from all of that. This is going to be the cut flower garden that we're going to do the no-dig style in the weeks to come, and so we'll take you along for that. But that was my pumpkin patch from last year, and it did not thrive at all because of squash bugs. I am going to be so on top of it this year for squash bugs. I've got my plan of attack ready. So this is going to be the pumpkin patch and cut flower garden rows and a strawberry patch. And I've got a pear tree that I planted down there, and then there's another one that pollinates planted right down there. So those are going to be the big changes here in this garden as far as like the major projects. And then of course we're going to do a ton of planting in here. Just lots and lots of flowers planned for this area. So that's it for today. That's what we do in December. We unbox stuff and we plan for the next year ahead and order seeds, which I still need to do actually, and plan what I'm actually going to be planting in this area. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.